From Los Angeles to a worldwide audience, this is Boaz Power TV, where we take your life to the next level. Now, internationally known speaker and author, here's Boaz.
Hi, welcome to the Power Show. You are part of the Power Nation, and I am delighted that you're here, because here we help you improve your attitude, your relationships, your finances, and your health, along with your career. This is episode number 29, and I call this one Deep in the Heart of Dixie. In my seminars all over the world, I like to teach people that they have a wonderful memory, that everybody has a great memory. We all do. Some people just practice it more than others. And so I was working with an audience not too long ago, I believe it was in northern San Diego County, and talking about various personal development attributes that people can develop in their lives. And one of the questions I ask in my seminars, very innocently, is what would you like to improve about you? And in this group, in this particular seminar was in a private home. A CEO brought me in to do the seminar for all of his relatives, and his parents were there, his father and mother and so forth. And unbeknownst to me, the father had had a stroke a few months ago. So I'm coming around the room and I'm not even thinking ahead, and I ask everybody, what would you like to change about you? And I come to his father and he looks at me and says, I want to improve my memory. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. I just realized his son had told me he'd had a stroke. He'd had a stroke. What am I going to do here? Well, oftentimes we can come up with something amazing on the spot if we just open our minds up to the possibility. So I created the following process right there on the spot to somehow show this gentleman who had thought he lost part of his memory because of the stroke, that he still was fine. So I said, let's play a little game. Let's just play a little game. Let's pretend that I don't know anything about your medical condition. You look like a fine person to me. You look like a fine gentleman. And so let's just play a little game. So I said, let's pretend that I'm going to call you every morning at 6:19 in the morning. I want you to see an imaginary clock on the wall, small hand on the 6, large hand on the 19. So I asked him to repeat, what time am I going to call you? And he said 6:19. So I said, fine. Now, because you seem like a really fine gentleman, I'd like to give you some valuable time every morning for the next 5 days talking about memory techniques. So I'm going to talk to you for a little over 1 hour a day about memory techniques. So let's say that I'm going to talk to you until 7:23. I'm going to call you at 6:19. We'll talk until 7:23. So I asked him again, what time am I going to call you? He repeated, 6:19. I said, we will talk until what time? He said, 7:23. I said, excellent. Now, just to make sure the ideas we talked about in the morning really took root in your mind, I'd like to call you back every afternoon at 3 to review the ideas that we talked about in the morning. So I asked him again, what time am I calling you in the morning? He said 6:19. We'll talk until what time? 7:23. Fine, you're doing great. And what time in the afternoon was I going to call you to review the ideas in the morning? He said 3. Excellent. And then I said, look, I am like James Bond, except I'm an agent for change. But my code number is the same as James Bond. What is James Bond's code number? And he said 007. I said, great, you're doing beautifully. So what time in the morning am I calling you? He said 6:19. We will talk until what time? 7:23. I said, excellent. What time am I calling you in the afternoon? He said 3 o'clock. And then I said, what is my code number? And he said 007. Everybody in the room was stunned. He had memorized my cell phone number. That's my cell number. 619-723-3007. Everybody in the room was amazed. His wife, whose name was Dixie, she started crying. I said, Dixie, why are you crying? She said through tears in her eyes, that's more progress that you just made in 5 minutes than his therapist made in 6 months. And that's why this particular episode of Boaz Power TV is entitled Deep in the Heart of Dixie. So if A gentleman who'd had a stroke can memorize my phone number. What can you do? I think you can do amazing things because I think you have a fabulous memory. So the affirmation for this episode, number 29 in Boaz Power TV, is the following. Please write it down. I have a great memory. I have a great memory. Where does it say you can't? Say it for 30 days. First thing in the morning, last thing at night. You'll be amazed as to what a great memory you do have. In fact, just try forgetting my phone number. The more you try, the harder it'll be to forget it. You've got it forever. If you like these messages, and a lot of people all over the world really find them highly beneficial, please forward this to 5 people you know. Ask them to go to my website, boazpower.com, and have them sign up for the free weekly broadcast of Boaz Power TV. You are special, you are unique, you are destined for greatness, and I see you as a champion. Have a powerful day.
This has been Boaz Power TV. To comment, see other episodes, or to subscribe to this free broadcast, go to our blog at boazpower.com. That's boazpower.com. We're here to take your life to the next level.